Hello, Cancer. So this is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Ascending. Maybe you can also look at your Venus placements, which is about, love and finance. But let's just have a look at, before I do your October readings, what are some of the things just before September ends. Let's see what are some of the things that the universe would like to communicate to you, Cancer, in this general reading. So please take it as it resonates. And we're going to start off by looking at what are the things that you're doing well already. All right. I like to go with positives. I like to roll with positives first. So let's first see what you are doing well, so that you can know that you continue doing that, because that's working quite well for you. To all of you that are supporting my channel in all the ways that you can support a person's channel, know that I really, really appreciate that. Very, very grateful. I thought that card was going to come out. There we go. All right. 10 of air, 10 of swords. Release, new starts, letting. This is I feel, Cancer, there are many, many things for you. You're at a very interesting space, actually. There might have been many things that were holding you back and holding you down and draining your energy and making you feel sort of blah. Um, I feel that for some of you, there was so many sort of like emotions on you that in a sense it was exhausting. It was almost like, when emotions almost like weigh down on you and they're so heavy, it almost feels, like you can't breathe, like you can't move forward, like and some of you might have been in that space where, sometimes we start to say negative things about ourselves. I'm so stupid, I'm such an idiot, I'm such a fool, look at me doing the same thing again. But there's a sense of enlightenment happening over here. You know what, Cancer? I've been loving the readings that I've been doing for you for the last couple of ones, because there's a real sense of ascension happening here, lightness happening here, where maybe you're like, your sensitivity, your consideration, your emotions, you're giving everybody a second chance type of thing. Maybe that could have really counted to your detriment before, but I feel that you've learned your lessons. And this is that space of letting go. So in a sense of almost like, when you go graduate and you're done graduating, so everybody kind of like throws their caps up in the air. This is that sort of space, but it's also like, say you studied something really difficult, really hard, like, and now you're done with it. So you can either chuck the books or keep the books or like whatever, pass them to someone else. There is that sense happening in your energy that you have done what you needed to do. You've learned your lessons. Many of you are coming out of a very, very dark space, a space that feels very oppressed in a sense. But there's a sense of letting that go now, because the lessons have been learned. So, and that is really cool for you. You might have found that you maybe got some solutions that came through in your life. People just stepped through because your energy has changed, and you've learned those lessons. It's almost like for some of you, you needed to become almost like a titan. You needed to sort of like strong up, that sort of thing. There might have been some hurtful things that happened, some painful things that happened, maybe with close relatives and friends and those sort of things. But you have moved from that now. Okay, well, there's a lot of cards, but your overall energy at this particular point is justice. So again, we're speaking about that. Sorry. And justice is obviously that Libra energy that comes in. There's a balancing of things that's happening here for you. And this is really good news, Cancer, because if you were at that space where things were feeling so challenging and it's like no matter how hard you tried, nothing just worked, everything was like, like you like almost like, oh my goodness, could I even? There's a sense of balance that's coming in your life. There's a sense of, positive karma, like all those things that you put out there. And obviously the things that you put out from positive intentions, the good that you've done from your heart, just because you actually wanted to help and, wanted to see other people shine. This is a very, almost like a Virgo approach that some of you would have taken here. Maybe you've got Virgo in your chart. Maybe you're dealing with a Virgo. Because what Virgo will do sometimes is, if they can't do something for themselves, they will be happy to maybe help you get it done for you, and that's a very powerful way of manifestation, especially when you just do it because you want to help the other person. And there's a new beginning that's happening here for you. So your direct influence there with the Fool, new beginning. So things, there might be a little bit of a space here. There might be a little bit of a space here, Cancer, where things were a little bit rocky for you. Now, remember that in the beginning of the year, there was that remember the gate opening, the age of Aquarius, basically. Recently we had, the gateway, the triple eight gateway, all of those things. A lot of those energies were very overwhelming for you. And it, even though it might have seemed like a lot of things were falling apart for you, a lot of things were actually moving into space, but that required a lot of things to be taken out of the way. It's almost like landscaping when you do a garden. In order to get to that beautiful lush garden with the trees and the benches and the birds and the lawn and the whatever and the fountains, sometimes you first need to go in there. You need to kind of get that undergrowth out, and you need to sort of like maybe move the rubble a bit and things like that. So there was that deep sort of cleansing that took place over there. And this cleansing was not like a spring cleaning. I remember in Aries, as well as I think Taurus's readings, I had the same thing, almost like that spring clean energy. This was not a spring clean. This was more sort of like when you like redo a place. I can't remember what the word is now, but this was like this as well. This was more like a revamp. So a lot of things that weren't working for you energetically has been removed by the divine to sort of clear the gateway so wonderful things can move and the water can just flow for you. In your foundation, which is great, this is the 10 of Cups. This is that space that for many of you, in your life, in your family life, in your daily life, and family life is really sort of like what makes you feel at peace when it's just sort of like you, in the middle of the night, that sort of thing. And whether this is being with a family, just being on your own, there's that sense of what you see. And I feel that a lot of you have really been focusing on that, which is what's bringing it about, is that, some of you have really started to focus on the things that you actually really do want to have. And if you haven't, then this is something that you want to do, but this is something that would have started to happen for you almost automatically, because it's universal sort of flow. But this is a time to really focus on what is it that you actually really want to have, literally dream bigger, that sort of thing. Because with that new space that you're in, and so that balance that took place in this new beginning space, this is the space where you actually get to determine what it is that you want your experience of life to be like. If you almost think of the Akashic records, this is one of those senses where, obviously in the Akashic records, you've got all your, sort of like your life history, soul history, so to speak. And you also sort of write what is the purpose for you to go to earth as a human being, and in the process of living, in a sense, that record expands. This is a space where you get to first of all, the record obviously always expands, but this is a space where you get to decide how that record expands. So what is that record? Okay, and that is by your feelings and by your emotions. Okay. Within in the recent past, with the Eight of Cups, some of you have stepped away from maybe family, friends, could be relationships, jobs. I feel for some of you, it's several things. A lot of you have really been following your intuition, you've been following your guidance, where you have that sense of something doesn't sit right, someone doesn't sit right, that sort of thing, Some of you could have maybe had people walk out of your life, but I feel that for those of you who maybe had people walk out of your life, there was a sense of like, let me open this door for you. I may not like this, but let me open this door for you. Bye, bye, bye. That sort of thing, But for some of you, there was a space that maybe you needed to let some people go. And I feel that that energy is balancing, because I think the ones of you, the ones of you that maybe let people go, maybe it was a little bit harder for you, because, obviously that's that choice that we have to make, which isn't always easy, but that it's also that release. I always say to everybody, and in my psychic development coaching, and I've actually got some coaching in October and November coming up, and if you're interested, there's a link in the description to my Facebook page, because that's where you'll find the details. I always say to people, there's a big difference between knowing what it is that you need to do and actually doing it. And for some of you, you've done the doing, what you know you needed to do, and there with the Nine of Wands above you, you're still healing. Some of you are not 100% healed, whether you stepped away, whether someone stepped away. There is still healing that's taking place there for you. You don't always easily release Cancer, but look at that. whatever ending happened, this is not blaming anybody. I need you to understand this very clearly. This is not blaming anybody, but that release that took place over here, however it came about, it was necessary to set you on that prosperous path that you needed to be on. You are being reset back onto your point of 0 point energy, especially there in your overall influence. For those of you that don't know what 0 point energy is, it's that, you know, the universe is alive, the cosmos is alive, and when we are born, we take that first breath of air. So when you go for like a numerology reading or like an astrology reading, they normally ask you a date of birth, you know, where you were born, and do you know what the time was. And that time determines what the energy of the universe was like, or the cosmos was like at that point in time that you first breathed it in. And that is really your point of strength. And this is what you're getting aligned to, all right? Some of you, to the process of life, has taken on a lot of things that weren't really you, you know, a lot of identities, false identities, other people's ideas. You know, as everybody in this world, we're busy finding our way. At the time, the double one, new beginnings. But now it's time for a new beginning. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh my goodness. So, if God could send you an email, it will send you one around the Knight of Wands. This is good. This is about going forward. This is about having passion. This is about having ambition. This is about following your dreams. This is about following your heart. This is what even makes you feel good. All of those good things. Just be careful. Some of you, it almost feels like you might have the danger of burning out. All right. Remember that yes, you might have a lot of energy and a lot of sort of like vavavoomness and vitality and those sort of things. But also remember that in order to keep the high vibe of energy going, it is also necessary to consciously take breaks. Even if you're not going to sleep, to consciously take breaks to allow your energy to revitalize. Otherwise, you know, it's almost like those people that get a lot of money. However, you know, you end your job or you win the lotto or whatever, you get an inheritance, and you just spend blindly, you're not even looking at money, and next thing you know, you've got none left. And that is sort of just a little bit of something you want to look at it with your energy, all right? But what's also happening here for you with the Nine of Pentacles, and this is very good news for some of you, there are very lucrative ways of money coming in here for you. I'm talking about lucrative ways of earning more money. This is more like passive income, you know, like making money while you're sleeping. There is such opportunity stepping forward for some of you, okay? Or maybe you've been working on something for a while and it's just unfolding. This is very weird, but I'm asked to draw you another card for overall energy, which I'm going to do. I'm not going to question it, I'm just going to do it. Page of Swords. Wonderful going forward. Just be careful to not become your own worst enemy. Some of you might be stuck here with the devil, all right? Or at the devil energy, rather. This is a space of sometimes not wanting to accept full responsibility for our energy investment in whatever unfolded, okay? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go and completely pull yourself over the coals and, you know, do all those sort of things, get a whip and kind of ruin your back. This is not what we're talking about. You are just encouraged here to... this is not a sense of judgment. I'm a Cancerian as well. But so what this is speaking about, Cancer, is that maybe you've got a certain situation in life. It might not be everything in your life is unhappy, but maybe you've got a certain situation in your life that is not going all that wonderful. Everything else is going great. There's just this little one thing. It's almost like that very, very small little pebble in your shoe, but it's not like where it hurts. It's just slightly uncomfortable. So you'll still be able to walk with a walk. But you'll be able to walk so much better if you just hold and actually take off the shoe and have a look. And you want to look at that. So if there's something happening around you that maybe like that one little thing that irritates you, maybe have the willingness to just look within you and to ask, what is this current situation trying to tell me? What is within me that is reflecting that outwards? Because whatever happens outside in the world somehow is a reflection of our inner world. Okay, but and once you can get past that, there is beautiful change about, and I feel that for many of you, you can feel the change. So once you pass here, you can feel this abundant change. You can feel the change in the air. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it. all right, which is fantastic, and I can let you know that it's definitely there. And if you want to, if you're not sure what it is that might be holding you back, or you're open to universal support, or you're open to a wonderful way that honors everybody's greatest good, looking for that golden nugget, whatever it might be, that puts you in line with this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful prosperity and abundance that's laid out here for you, place your hand on your heart, taking a nice deep breath, and claim that for yourself. Okay, let's see what we've got for you for a message. Oh my goodness, from the universe. So 8 of Wands, it just went flying over there, which is fantastic. 9 of Wands and the Page of Cups. So just want to let you know that you've got it. So there's a lot of wonderful things that's happening in your life. There's a lot of potential. In a short period, wonderful things can happen for you. Also, when I'm doing this reading, depending on where in the world you are, it's time for full moon, so either today or tomorrow, but that energy, the energy of the full moon, and for you, Cancer, you'll only be able to feel it. It's about 4 or 5 days before the full moon and 4 or 5 days plus minus, after the full moon. So the energy is still there. And now is actually the perfect time to let go of something, even if you don't know what it is. If you feel there's a little something holding you back in life, you don't know what it is, have the willingness to release, because that is going to set you up there with Page of Cups for those amazing, amazing, amazing things that your heart actually desires. All right. Let's see what crystal energy you can focus on at the moment, and it's taking you forward into October, and you've got fluorite. Learning. I love fluorite because fluorite is a crystal. I always call them happy stones. They are very high vibrational crystal actually, but the crystal itself is a gentle crystal. And even though it really raises your vibration, what this crystal does, it's almost like hormones really. Or the way that hormones will work in your mind. It raises your vibration, your happiness vibration. So it's not like that overall overwhelming energy, but as it raises your vibration, beautiful, wonderful things come to you because you're going to the receptive space. And that is what's happening for you, and I hope that it helps. All right, so I'll see you next time, Cancer, for your October reading. I'd really appreciate you liking the video if that resonates with you. And if you also haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you next time.